This is the Drop Podcast where we talk golfing in the Garden State. I'm Mike Poro, and this is Ryan Coulott.
What's up, everyone? Mike and I had a real treat day today. We are at Berkshire Valley Golf Course in Oak Ridge, New Jersey, up in the northwest part of the state. You guys have been telling us this is a place that we must get to. You've been talking about it. Said that it's a terrific value. Said it's got country club aesthetics. That it is a hidden gem. You know, we've heard all the adjectives for it, Mike. So we came up here, checked it out. It didn't disappoint. It didn't, and
I mean, look at
I don't know
this.
where to start.
I mean, this is like I feel like we're on top of a mountain overlooking, our land and our golf course, and it's like you got to give credit where credit's due. The people said this is a spot, you got to check it out. They nailed it because this golf course was truly unique. It was challenging. It was fun. It was everything. But before we really truly dive into the whole operation here, we got to say thank you to Darielle, Zach, and Brian. Those three have just been simply unbelievable here. The communicating, the back and forth, trying to iron out all the details. Sometimes it's not easy. It's not. And the logistics can be a nightmare. But the three of them were so easy to communicate with, so easy to plan this whole thing. And I'm beyond thrilled that we got an opportunity to come see this.
Yeah, a big shout out to them. It doesn't happen, everyone could say, hey, get to this course, and it's a lot tougher than just finding, time for one of us to get up there and get some time and, to do the things that we want to do, that we like to do, get out to do some recording, to it's if we want to do more than just a hole with Ryan, a hole with Mike, it requires a team effort. And so big shout out to those here and for helping that out and making it work for us.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's another thing with this Kemper sports team that we've been fortunate to connect with. I mean, you're talking, Berkshire Valley falls underneath the Kemper sports umbrella. There's a couple other here in Morris County that I was told: Flanders Valley, Pinchbrook, Sunset Valley. So we're here in the valley.
Yeah,
we're in the valley. I mean,
very clearly, this looks like something out of the Land Before Time movies, where you got mountains on each side, and that's where we're living, in the valley. But this, Mike, to your point, this view is stunningly beautiful.
Yeah, it's another good one.
We've been in some good ones, and this is as good as we've seen.
Yeah,
it really is.
And I think one thing before we even dive into the golf course, we got to address a couple things that people always ask. And I think the number one thing is the price.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, what does it cost? Ryan, how much did it cost? What was the cart fee? The whole nine. So we did some digging to see exactly what it costs. Now, they do have dynamic pricing here, which, to educate some people that don't know what that is, tight tee times pricing, it can fluctuate. On bad, rainy days, it may be cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
On nice, beautiful days, it may be a little higher because of the interest of people wanting to come out and play.
Right.
But I was told that the absolute highest it would get is a $2 above 100. Can you do the math there?
Carry the $702.
100, ding, ding, ding. We got a winner. So the max the price would be on a weekend morning that was of high interest would be $102.
Okay.
Which you're talking early morning on a weekend is 102.
And that's what we've kind of banked it on. Those are always going to be the highest prices. So we kind of like to give you guys the highest end that it's going to be, knowing that it can only be less, right? It's going to be that or less. So you're telling me a Saturday morning to come here and play with a golf cart, it's going to be $100 is ludicrous.
Yeah, and that's, if you decide, hey, listen, I want to come in the afternoon, you're talking 85, 55. The prices obviously vary. But I was told that is the max the number could get. Now, could things change as we go? Sure. Things happen, costs go up, different. But as of right now, that is a price that is well in the means of, when you're talking quality golf courses, people are willing to pay.
Mike, I'm not going to lie. Now knowing that, because we didn't know that when we teed off, right? We came in, we played, out. We came in, we started setting up the cameras and stuff. We go do the research. Quick hot take, it might be the best value in the state.
Wow,
it's best value that we've played so far.
Is that recency bias?
It might be, but I don't think it is, because we really enjoyed it.
Listen, we thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think what people will see when all the content comes out from the day that we videoed and the different videos, I definitely would not have thought you would have said that after the front 9.
Oh yeah,
I would have. I thought we would have been more like packing our bags heading home. And it had nothing to do with the golf course. It was strictly golf game.
No, the golf game was bad today. I'll start out with it. But, I played the front 9. We recorded it. You guys are going to see. It is some really bad golf. I even said this out there, and I don't know if it was caught on the mic, but I don't think I played the first 6 holes. Maybe I don't think I hit the ball that poorly, but I was punished on the 2 shots through 6 holes that I did hit poorly. I was severely punished, and it spiraled quickly down from there. So,
which I think when we got here, the guys in the pro shop said the first 5 holes are a bear.
Mm-hmm.
It is very narrow.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about, like, if you are not on point with your tee shot,
mm-hmm.
to your point right there,
Yeah.
you're making double bogey.
100%.
You're making double bogey.
Yeah,
and
because you're in some you can be in some real precarious situations.
Yeah.
There's one shot where the ball is a good foot below my feet, downhill lie below my feet, and just you can't do anything with that. And maybe I shouldn't have tried to do something with it, but why come out and play if we're not going to make the hero shot, right?
Yeah, I hear that, and I think when you're thinking about the golf course, I definitely think narrow definitely is a good term. Once you get to the back 9, it opens up. I would think it's a very challenging golf course. Now, granted, you and I played the black tees.
Mm-hmm.
It's a par 71 for the people that don't know, and it stretches out to over 6,800 yards. So it is a little long,
Mm-hmm.
considering it's only a 71.
Yep.
Right? Most times you're thinking 72 at 6,800 yards. Gives you an extra par 5 in there.
Yep.
This doesn't have it. But when you think about the front 9, besides the word narrow, besides your tee shots being extremely demanding, what kind of stood out to you on the front?
So if you look, Mike, on the back side of your card here, I actually love, and we're looking at it, so you kind of go up. You guys can kind of see we got the shot of the valley here, but like all along the ridge line up top is holes 1 through 5. Really cool. You're up top, left is woods, right is heading into the valley. You're really can't emphasize the tightness of it enough. And everything is sloping. So even if you do hit the fairway, it's still sloping left to right. The other thing that I would say is the views. I know you're more of a views guy, but the views to me hit here today. A lot of, again, along that ridge, holes 1 through 5, you got a lot of rock outcropping along there. I love a good rock outcropping. I'm staring at an enormous, boulder, just apparently for no reason other than, there was rock here, so we're just going to keep it. That's really cool. It's really really beautiful here, and really aesthetically, you're very clearly mountains golf. We talked about it's kind of like Black Bear, Wild Turkey vibes, or some other courses that we've played aesthetically kind of that look there, but it's very, very mountain golf.
And I think I got 3 asterisks on the front 9 for me when I thought about holes specifically.
Sure.
And I think we can kind of discuss each of them. We got to talk about number 2, the par 3, 258 yards. We've got to talk about, let's start there.
Okay.
I mean, because right out the chute,
Yeah.
right? You're thinking, all right, let's get warmed up. We're playing a little bit of golf. I know that Oakmont is right in the back corner in our minds. 258-yard par 3, narrow as can be. And what stands out the most to me, because I don't know if I've ever seen this, and you think it's single digits in the world, country, I don't know, that a hardest hole on the golf course was a par 3.
I've never seen that at any place.
I think we need to stop here. We need the audience to shoot us a DM. If this is not the only one, where are the other spots that have the hardest handicapped hole being a par 3? Shoot me a DM.
SOS.
Sorry to cut you off.
I think we need to, because you and I can't figure that out, because
No.
Because, Mike, honestly, I don't think I've ever seen it.
I know I haven't.
And it's crazy to think about. So this is hole number 2, 258 yards, number 1 handicap. It's not like it's 258, but you have, you're playing from one mountain to the other. It was 258, and it might have played 257. It wasn't like you were,
down.
playing 200 yards, something like that. No, it was, driver would have been, playing it again, be reasonable to hit driver.
Yeah, I mean, I hit 3-wood. It's not like it was like
I hit 3-wood and came up short.
Yeah.
So it's
I thought, listen, beyond impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought that was really interesting. I got number 5 with an asterisk here. And I know you don't maybe want to speak about number 5 because it was a little frustrating.
Ever again.
But I do think kind of hitting to this down sloped kind of area where you can't hit driver because the water starts to creep out a
Mm-hmm.
little bit. And then you got kind of a multi-level green that goes really steep up.
Yep.
You can't miss it long. I thought number 5 was another one of those holes that I just was like, okay,
Yeah.
we're really in the mountains.
Yeah, it was a stunningly visual hole that you got to hit good golf shots on. You again can't hit driver. You can't go too far because you're going to be in some water, so you got to lay up. But you don't want to be too far because you want to be able to control the next shot going in to a green that was, again, I was frustrated out there because I didn't get it over a hump. It came right back, and I had a longer second putt than I did first putt after already putting a ball out of bounds. So it was a difficult hole, but beautiful, and I'll tell you that is a treacherous green. So you gotta be hitting good golf shots, and you gotta be on the correct side there.
Yeah.
That was another one where, to your point, from the valley, like your view from the fairway into the green was probably maybe one of the coolest things because you have this bowl of like mountain behind you with the bunkering there. Probably was really cool to see.
Yeah, that was another one.
I wasn't in the bunker, or in the fairway, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. And your third putt was probably longer than your second putt.
Oh, it definitely was. Yeah, rolled past my feet. I could have hit it on the way back. It was just. Yeah.
And then I got an asterisk on number 8. I thought 8 was a really cool, the way the bridge kind of walked across the creek to a very, 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 very fast green.
Yep.
As I got to experience firsthand. You did it first, said, Mike, it's very fast. I proceeded to putt and go past your ball. So clearly learning is not high on my list there. But I thought that hole was another really fun, aesthetically pleasing, which is a big thing for us, hole. And I thought the bridge is kind of the icing on the cake there.
The bridge was really cool. It's a really cool, sometimes you get like these little tiny bridges that are just like, a little like they could drive a truck on that bridge if they want. It was a really pretty big bridge. But yeah, really, really cool. Aesthetically, pleasing, just beautiful. The views here are really, I know you're our views guy, and I'm going to keep harping on it. The views here are really, really good everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, in that front 9, I think it was very challenging in a lot of respects because when we got to the back, I felt like the sea parted. We got to see more. It was a little more open. You could spray the ball and get away with a tee shot, and there were certain things on the back 9 to me that kind of stood out, and it started right on number 10, the tee shot.
Yeah.
From those black tees, it's 230, 235 just to carry the water. So from that back area, for guys like me that only carried a certain amount, like you needed to hit a good drive. And I thought right off the bat, starting the 10th hole, I was like, okay, wow, that's a good looking tee shot.
Yeah. I'd even say going from hole 9, it kind of opens up on hole 9 there is kind of where you're out of like, it was kind of like two different golf courses. Holes 1 through 6, very hilly, very wooded, very, very mountainous. And then not that you didn't realize you weren't in the mountains on the rest of the holes, but it definitely feels more open starting on hole 9, definitely hole 10, but not any more difficult because it's, like you said, 230 carry over a lot of water is daunting.
Yeah. And then as you get more into the back 9, I thought number 13 was another hole that kind of stood out to me. A very challenging par 4, whereas you kind of just saw in a distance as you're hitting your second shot, like the mountains deep in the background. It kind of just looked like it went on an incline to like the moon, more or less.
Got to go over water again.
Yep. I just thought that second shot and that hole again, number 13 on the back 9, was one that kind of stood out.
So I'll even backtrack a little bit because I think this is really cool, and I'm the history guy here. So the property is the old Barnum and Bailey property. This is where they used to house their animals when they'd come up in the summertime from Florida and whenever they were doing. So like, it was really cool to see on the property this old like stone building. You wouldn't have known what it is. Doesn't really look like a house. They've built up the layout, but you can still see the top of the rock work, the elephant building. So it was really cool on hole 11. It's kind of next to you, hole 12. I think that was a cool little. I like when places leave stuff from what it used to be. Right, you get that in there's a place down in Myrtle Beach that's got Barefoot Landing that has like old pilings of like a plantation house on it. And again, don't like that it's a plantation house, but it kind of like an homage to the history. They have like pillars there that you walk through to get to the next hole. It's just kind of a cool aesthetic there. And this I kind of liked. It was a nice little nod to the history here, which was really pretty neat. But then that little stretch there, like I said, 11, 12, you got 13 there. It's a nice little three stretch of holes there.
Yeah, and then obviously as you just continue through the back, I thought 16 was a great par 3, a very challenging par 3. And I think the one thing, when you looked at all the par 3s,
yeah, let's talk about that.
They were no joke, right? They were no joke, right? You got the second hole, 258 yards. You have the sixth hole, 207 yards. You have the 12th hole, 190 yards.
Short one.
You have the 16th hole, 218 yards. Those are 4 monstrous par 3s.
Yeah.
And I was going with the theme of the chase for the ace. I was trying to thrive for that. Mm-hmm. Well, let me tell you what. My 4 par 3s went double, 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 bogey. So the chase for the ace was really non-existent. It was really like a 7 over type of day. And the sad part about the day is I only shot 6 over.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
It's wild, dude.
To think about.
Wild, dude. Yeah.
Crazy.
The one part of my day today that was better than yours was the par 3s, as I was only 3 over.
We would have had a great best ball today.
We talk about this, Mike. I wonder, like, I'd love to like hear the architect's idea here, but why? Why do you have such long par 3s? Even if you were to play it, from the white tees, you're talking about 210 yards for hole 2.
And they recommend on the white tees that you need to be, if you're a 13 to 20 handicap. So can you imagine a 20 handicap getting up there on a second hole like that? That is, I can see why it's ranked the hardest hole.
100%.
He clearly needs a shot there.
Yeah. And then you got 157. Becomes much more reasonable on hole 6
for white tees. Correct.
For the white tees. Yep. If I keep going across, 142 and 151.
All reasonable.
It's just The black tees here are tough. They really are. And I do like that they have this on the scorecard. It says black 72.9, 137, and then in parentheses, you should probably be a scratch golfer to play this.
Yeah, you see why.
I do see why.
Yeah.
I noticed. Yeah, I got firsthand knowledge of that. And then the blue tees, right? 70.4, 130, still good golf course. 0 to 12.
0 to 12.
That's a big
because most people correlate scratch with a 0.
Yeah.
They're differentiating them here.
Yeah.
It's really saying like
Yep.
you need to be very good. You need to be very good and be ready for an absolute test.
Yep.
Compared to, okay, maybe you're a 0, 1, 2, or 3 and you shoot 75 to 77.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big difference here.
Big boy golf.
Big boy golf here. So, yeah, I don't. Those are still really really long from the back there, but the 258 is wild.
And then no doubt. And I think the last thing, which I think a lot of golf courses have really nailed that we've gotten to see is that 18th hole.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you can see it coming right over my left shoulder, like. This 18th hole here, you're coming back in. You got the clubhouse right here. Everything's a good backdrop for you to visually see, to hit into the back 9 justice in terms of I'm rounding out my round. I'm coming in, and for some people, the end is near.
The end is right. The end is definitely coming near. Yeah, they did the 18th hole right here. This is a beautiful setup, beautiful situation. Yeah, the course is really, Mike. I played awful today, and it was really. I would love to come back because it was really really a good time.
I will say this: the course conditions were in really really good shape.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I know
those that have been saying country club, it had it. You're
greens
right.
were fast, greens were pure, greens were smooth. It is a very challenging golf course, so I can see frustration becoming very high very quick.
Mm-hmm.
So. The one thing I do recommend when you come here is like be ready to be challenged. Mm-hmm. And I know some people enjoy like I need to go play somewhere hard. I need to challenge myself. Well, listen, this is the spot. I know it may not say 7,000 plus yards, and people may not like
doesn't
quite
need to
long.
Be. Yep.
I'm telling you, the ball's got to be hit on a rope
Yeah.
when you're playing this golf course.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will shoot a high score very quickly.
This will be the last time I'm playing the black tees here. Definitely follow that. And honestly, if you're even looking for like, hey, let me they said it's really, really hard. Don't be afraid to go a tee up.
Yeah.
Like if you're at 11, 12, and the blue tees is what it says, 11, 12. Don't be afraid to go to the white tees because it really is a challenging golf course.
Now I know this question may be recency bias because we're
here.
Here. We just got done.
We've been talking about the course ratings on the show, and
I gotta ask you. I'm not gonna ask specifically where it falls or top 1, 2, 3,
Right.
25, but real quick take, no thought really put into it. Where do you kind of see a Berkshire Valley fit into it?
So I'm not real sure. I like this better than Heron Glen. I'm gonna name some courses, and it doesn't mean it as a knock, but this course was really, really nice. It was really, really hard. The people were correct that this is a needs more love than it gets for sure. I think it's right up there with like it's not like a superstar. Like you talk like who the superstar quarterbacks, right? You got like Mahomes and Joe Burrow, maybe. You got like 3 or 4 guys that are like the guys,
Josh
right?
Allen.
Right. And then you have like really good guys that are like 5 through 11, maybe, or something like that. It's going to be in that range. It's a top 10 course, I think. Like I said, I liked it better than Heron Glen. It's arguably better than Neshannock. It's the one I was looking for. I think it's right up there with like it's like a mountainous Hominy Hill. I think it's really, really good.
Quick take, top 10, no question about it.
Right?
No question.
Could
about
be
it.
top. You could argue top 5.
Yeah,
I'd
it
have
probably
to
could
think
sneak
about it.
on the cusp of that. I do.
Yeah.
But I think top 10 lock, and not even so much of being recency bias and being here.
Yeah.
I just think from what we saw today,
Mhm.
it's a top 10 golf
Yeah,
course.
I-
Public golf course here in New Jersey.
For sure. Yeah. You look at like the public golfs. Like you loved Shoregate,
Yeah.
right? You like Shoregate better than this is what I would gather because of how much you like Shoregate, right?
Yeah.
I think
Completely different golf course.
100%.
Completely different.
But
golf
I think this, like when you look at just like on the private side, right? Like you're not getting a number 1 spot. You're not getting number 2. You're not getting 3 like those are locks for forever until those golf courses are no more. Until Somerset Hills and Baltusrol are no more. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all taken, right? So a golf course that's like 6 is really like that's super high because you're not getting anywhere, right? So same kind of thing on the public side, right? There's like 3 or 4 that are like locks. So maybe you could argue 4, but like this could top out at like 4 or 5 for
I
sure.
think you
but
could
I
probably-
think lock for top 10.
Yeah, and I think even in New Jersey, I think it could fluctuate to top 2 being locks between Francis Burn and Ballyowen because I think people could argue similar to what I said about Shoregate being 3, Neshannock being like outside that because people love Neshannock, and I'm sure people in this area look at this place and be like, this is better than Neshannock, and this is better than, maybe they haven't ventured down to Shoregate, down to that neck of the woods, but this place is top 10 easily, and it'll be something when we sit back in the fall, in the winter, and we're looking back, and we're like, oh, that was a good day.
Yeah.
That was a good day.
Something we're going to have to sit down or, I'll sit down, do my golf course rating. There's a tab for you. You could do it as well, but
There actually isn't. You only have a tab for Ryan.
I put it the other day. I think I did at least. When I deleted, because I had one for off topic. But yeah, we'll rate it and put it out there. But yeah, this place was really, really good. And again, don't want to be recency bias, but we'll see where it ends up falling. But it is really, really good.
Yeah, listen, it's a spot that you and I highly recommend. So listen, if you're out there, Berkshire Valley up here in Morris County is a must-play golf course in New Jersey. When you're talking public golf, you need to come check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything that everyone has said, it's underrated. The value, you get super bang for your buck here. You really do. So as Mike said, come up, check it out. Berkshire Valley, Oak Ridge, New Jersey. Got anything else, Mike?
No.
No. Let's sign off.
Whatever your sign-off is. Till then, cheers.
Mike's got it. That's all, guys. Enjoy.